The 1st of February 2024. It's a brand new month. Sesenzele ke i-declarations nisazi ngoba isiko lide lidala linenkqayi apha ke Keith Ngisi Radio kwi-social crossover specifically xa kuqala inyanga. Declarations zenyanga entsha yonke imithandazo nezicelo nayo yonke into, because you cannot afford ukungena enyangeni nje ngathi awuna timing. Well, ngeli xesha ke sizawuphinda ke sincokole ke sike sancokola naye sometime last year, kodwa ke siyaqonda uba kubalulekile into yobana masiphinde simmeme azoba nathi apha enkqubeni uMr Andile Kwakweni ke sive kuye into yobana xa kuqala unyaka yazi inintsi into. Yesterday we were talking about into zosilima nothini resetting yonke into with hashtag #AskRwanda ba unyaka xa beqala abantu izicwangciso njalo njalo, and now sake sithethe ke sijonge nakwicala lakwa mental fitness, right? Must at mental health, cala kwa mental fitness into yobana how do we then reset your passion, reset your goals, reset your dreams, yonke nje loo nto leyo. So sawuthatha lithuba ke simbulise simamkele enkqubeni, sinamkela nani ke baphulaphuli abapha ku-Keith Ngisi Radio Facebook page na ku-Keith Ngisi YouTube channel. Mr Kwakweni, good morning and thank you so much for joining us ngale ntsasa namhlanje.
Intsasa miyoli siswam sisilotha WamaMfene.
Siyabulela. Senditshilo kwi-intro yam that unyaka uyaqala. Izinto zininzi and sometimes siphatha siyeka, siyafuna mani ukwenza kakuhle, siyafuna ukuhamba ngezicwangciso, siyafuna into izinto zethu zilunge, kodwa siyabhideka phakathi naphakathi because aside singene egiyeni minyaka le. Ngoku into eyenzekayo siyoluphala, simane sicinga ufana uba sizade siwuchane lo mcimbi. Mandinikele kuwe mani ukhutsho xa uqala unyaka befama mhlawumbi sibhuda sisithini.
Siswam, this is a critical question you're asking. It's an exciting question. It can be a frustrating one too.
Sure.
So I'm excited to hear Ubangaba, you're not rubbishing. Rubbishing, is it fine for radio?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes,
it's fine.
Thank you. Gotta give me some
I was so
So I'm excited you're not rubbishing the whole idea of New Year's resolutions, mapupa and all that. Because it's important. For me, it's about pausing at a certain point. And of course, we could do it more often than that.
Sure.
Yeah, go on. Pause so that we ask ourselves such critical questions as you're asking us this morning. And for me, it starts with actually literally crafting a personal vision for oneself.
All right.
So if it's about your life, if it's a team at work, if it's a family at home, doesn't really matter the structure. You just need to have a clear vision. Okay, don't be fooled and think that I know this book called the Bible.
Okay.
But I do know something about it. I know it's got beautiful verses like Habakkuk chapter 2 as one of my favorite portions of scripture. The first couple of verses between 1 and 3, because somewhere there it says, craft it.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about a vision.
Yes.
Craft it and
write it down.
It's got power, just a crafting exercise. Because when you have crafted it, then you've got something to go back to, refer to. And each time you go back to it, it does something inside of you, especially if it's an impelling vision.
Sure.
One that's short, that's succinct, straight to the point, that drives you into action.
Okay.
Because it's going to be a vision, a paragraph, and so it starts with that. And if you've got an old one, you need to review it as oft as possible.
Okay.
And the beautiful thing that people don't realize, don't admit, is the fact that going for your vision after crafting it is not a linear thing. It's got squiggles, because it's like when you craft that vision, you're giving yourself a vision of your own success.
Okay.
And everybody wants success. So the thing to do afterwards is to acknowledge, but it's not going to be linear, it's going to be squiggly. And that's why you will hear me every now and then talk about mental fitness, because it's in those squiggles.
Okay.
When you take a step back, another step, a couple of steps forward, and then you find yourself taking a couple of steps back, kind of regressing. And some of us give up at that very point, and then until the end of the year, and then do another resolution the following year. Yet it's something that's a daily exercise list.
Sure.
Maybe I can pause at this point.
Inoma nyani si xa sifika apho siqonda uba ayothi bendiyenzile uze uphinde phakathi naphakathi. More like if singathatha umzekelo ubheke ethimini uze xa uqala ungathi ukuthi usiya kwipasika kwi-Easters uphinde sophinde etha amandla and ke ubuqomba hayi wethu andityali mntu nto andityali nto and nyhani uphela unyaka uphinde ukwenza ezinye, so i-cycle efuna siyibreak because I believe we do have a tool that we underutilize. Yile ndifuna sidade lenzulweni kuyo. Which one is that?
Okay.
And why?
So as human beings, let's say you've got that passion of yours, that dream of yours, that vision of yours that you want to achieve.
Sure.
Not only kulonyaga, but in your lifetime.
Okay.
And you will find we've got all kinds of strengths. Last time we spoke about saboteurs, and maybe we can refresh our memory a little bit. When we talk about saboteurs, we talk about strengths actually. That when taken too far become self-sabotaging instruments. So Omyumdu will have a strength of really managing things, and in their process of managing, they want to manage people, they want to manage things and circumstances. And when abantu behave in the best way that people behave, they get frustrated. Because I want to control, I want to be in control, I want to manage this thing. So if, for example, you don't come to work, then that means we can't achieve this goal, and you get frustrated, and you abuse people because of that. That's a good strength of managing people taken too far. But when you begin to abuse people because they have not behaved the way that you wanted them to behave. And some people are great achievers. They set their minds to achieve something. They gun for it. They find it. And guess what? When taken too far, that very great strength shows up in the form of you expect Uyamza next to you or Andile next to you to also achieve like you are achieving, and yet we're not the same.
Sure.
We will achieve success, but not at the same pace. We will achieve success not in modus operandi A1. There are different ways. Don't they say about skinning cats? You kill a cat by strangling it, you can shoot it, you can stab it, you can do all sorts of things. At the end of the day, the cat has been skinned.
Sure.
It's been killed. So the same holds for us human beings. Different paces, different strokes, different folks. And so that's one of the things we need to realize. And this thing of starting a new year is all about self-management, self-regulation, recognizing that beautiful skill that you've got, and recognizing when you're taking it too far. You know you're taking it too far when it pushes people away from you.
Sure.
How can it be a great strength and still push people away? That means you have crossed that mark.
Okay. Okay. Siluma ngaphezu komlinganiselo. And now siyanqapha. Kanti besinokwenza bit by bit. I'll keep on referring to a discussion that we had yesterday, Noyamkela and Ulwanda, that even if you want to lose weight into lapha again, suyeka yonke into. Qala ngoyeka i-potato chips if ungumuntu wazo. Ulandele komo ke ndimasterishile ngokulera ndiyiwitu uyoyeka isonka. Uhambe uyoyeka i-fizzy drinks. Ingxaki sifuna uvela sithi boom yonke into sifuna yonke and singaba bantu ude wathi we don't want to live life kakuhle, sifuna nje ukuseleke siyazixakekisa ngohlobo loba siyazikritika siyazi yonke nje lento and sifuna ukwenza ngoku and mayibe perfect. I don't know.
That's
Yes,
self-sabotaging.
put too much pressure. Kanti ezinto besinozenza kancinci kancinci. So when you are saying write down the vision or the dream or whatever and see into yobana, then now that uyibhalile awuzuyithatha ubeke phaa uyifayilishe, you will come up with strategies, with ways of how are you going then to get there. Kancinci kancinci uzawuphungula ntoni weekly okanye daily. So those resolutions ubuzenzile at the end of the year okanye beginning of January, ndizawuzenza njani, zithini timelines, njalo njalo njalo, ngoba andifuna uphinda zife esithubeni. Kudala ndisithi ndiyayiluza le weight, ngoku ufikele kwistage kudala ndisithi ndiyaya esikolweni, kudala ndisithi ndiyayenza le, kudala njalo 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 njalo. So ifuna uba sikwazi into yoba ndizama ukoleka.
Sure, thank you very much. And that actually brings to memory something that I realized within myself when I'm not aware, when I'm sleepy. If you want to reset, there's a point where you can start. Maybe Omyumdu will even want to know, how do I even... Yeah. There's a thing called empathy.
Sure.
Empathize with yourself. When you don't do that, there's another thing that you do, whether it's intentional or not intentional. When you don't empathize with yourself, you actually judge yourself.
Okay.
So you look at you look at what could have, what would have. Bottom line, it did not happen. So the best thing is to really do those mental fitness exercises that will help you become aware that I'm poisoning, I'm drinking poison, I'm beating myself up for not succeeding. Because until such time you get to that point, it's going to be a recurring thing. So find that empathy within yourself, because we all have it.
Yes.
It's a power we do have. Empathize with yourself and
be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself. Out of that, you are able to then forgive yourself and make a fresh start. You're not your best self when you constantly beating yourself, bashing yourself, drinking that poison, because that's what it is. You're drinking, but you're killing yourself daily.
Yes, Tagat.
Yeah. And then you still point fingers everywhere else, saying this person, that thing is responsible for my lack of success.
Yeah, ne. Uzawuthi umuntu ayikho lula, hayi wethu Andile bezithethe izinto zabo bacinga uba azikho lula, but it's something that is doable.
For sure.
It is doable. Koma ayike ndiyazikhohlakalela ke ngalandlela sithi siyazikhohlakalela ngayo xa upeyile. Uqoma ndifuna usivisa kamnandi ndiyazibulela ndisebenzile andifuna ndizikhohlakalela. So I think ifuna nje i-practice, ifuna nje i-consistency, ifuna nje into yoba ukwazi uzi-appreciate, uzixolele, uzenze zonke izinto then and appreciate yourself ngendlela eyiyo, ungayityi poison.
Yes.
So abantu abathi hey incinci manje xesha kaLhoza ndifuna ukwazi more, benza njani?
The beautiful thing is, in this very month of February, on the 24th of February, down this way, Nahon Point, we're meeting again.
Okay.
We'll be talking about this very issue. And there at least we'll have more time. We'll be in nature.
Why is it important? I see bakudityanwa elwandle kwi-sand dunes. Why is it important to be there? Why not in a classroom or in a conference center or a hall?
Symbolic.
Okay.
You go to nature, expand.
Okay.
You talk abundance.
Right.
You look around, look at the grain, they are abundant. You look at the trees, the leaves, there's abundance all around you. Classroom, block, and psychologically that could even block you so that you can only think so far.
Sure.
There you
give this
promise you.
Okay, because I always like, okay, Lendo, why that? And early in the morning. Okay, so
so there's a poster I will be sending out via LinkedIn and Instagram. Andile Kwakweni is my name there, and you can use that. You can also WhatsApp me on 078 324 324 6494. let's talk about how to get there, what you need to do to prepare for that, and how you secure your spot, because there's a way that we're making sure people secure their spots this time around. In the past, we organized this session, and then people said, "No, I'll come," and then you go, and then people don't show up. Yeah, so you have to secure that spot, and then we know who's coming.
Okay, wena so far ikuncedise njani lento yoba ube kanti kwesi space se-mental fitness? Ithathe phi ndizokuyeka?
Mental fitness, sure, amazing. For some reason, a comment that was made by Renee Kelly Smith, a friend of mine who was at the session last week on the 27th of January, she says to me, it's the beginning of the month, it's the beginning of the year, and already you've got an event. That's mental fitness for me.
Okay.
I'm able to be spontaneous. Remember, I've got my vision, and it's very clear, it's very succinct. It's under 10 words.
Sure.
And because I've got that vision and I keep going back to it, it propels me.
Okay.
So mental fitness, I do every day. I do those mental fitness exercises, and I'm able to empathize with myself when I have not reached what the ideal.
Yes.
And just being able to do that on a daily, because all the time I fall.
Yeah.
What's the word? And I know now, because I'm getting more conscious, the more mental fitness I immerse myself in, when I fall short of my ideal, that's the time. Exactly. That's the time to be aware and really pick your rep and do mental fitness exercises, and then pick up lessons, because when we have fallen short, there's definitely a message for us there.
Yeah.
So the question to ask is, what am I to learn from this?
Okay. All right. Monty,
the same number you can use to contact me, and we can talk about how we can do the same thing. We actually even take it deeper when we do it virtually, because we have a 6-week-long program.
Okay.
And you've got an app that you have access to. It's got videos that will really help you immerse yourself in this whole mental fitness stuff. And then you keep that app for 12 months. But for the first 6 weeks of that 12 months, we meet once every week. And we do some coaching.
Okay. The number again?
The number is 078 324 6494.
6494. Yeah. Okay. Right. Ndinomdla ndiyafuna ukuva. That's okay. The number lapha ku screen sakho mphulaphula unomntu ubukele ku Keith Ngisi Radio Facebook page na ku YouTube 078 324 6494. Make siqaliseni man ke siyo reset ke siyobona ba asinawuthini na namalahla acimayo elavundu unamuntu waselalini ke ngumntu wasemdantsana lo kuxa amlilo kuphela nalamalahla uboma ibala uthuthu but useshushu uyabona ayikabula uthuthu kusekhona amalahlanyana kuthiwa livundu.
That sounds dangerous. I could step there thinking it's not
hot. Isekhona la elavundu elalinokwenzala lula xa nofuna uphinda uphembe, because elashithuthu lisenawo amalahlanyana nathi ayikabili uthuthu clean isekhona indawo ezingaba livundu. So how do you then xa unovuthela pha uphinda uthi la malahla ngaphinda? Yeah, so yeah, now you've learned something.
Oh, for sure.
Well, thank you so much. Ngenxa yexesha ubusochazile ke abaphulaphula ndababona Henry Gwongile Mahashana ukhona uVuyokazi Ncebetsha Cape Town Lindelo Axinela nayo ukhona umamele ubhuti wam uGadarura morning. Hey, it's good to see you and hear from you. I remember chatting with you briefly about this great program. Morning Lhoza. Good morning and nyakomtha. Siyabulela kakhulu kuni baphulaphula. That's the number ubangaba ufuna contact, please do so. 078 324 6494. Masiqaliseni ke bethu nani sijonge into yobana la maphupha sinawo siyakunida ukuncediswa. We do need that little push from time to time, so kwenze bezinye izinto zityhileke, because yes unayo lento ewe uyafuna uyenza but ikhona apho ingaqinisi inqwazi ungaqini ikhona. Mr. Kwakweni, siyabulela ngexesha lakho. Enkosi kakhulu for gracing us with your presence this morning. Nam ndiziva nam ndiphinda ndalayita. Ikhona into lo Saturday asiyi I can't.
No, it's every last Saturday of the
Oh,
month.
okay.
Yes.
I send you fresh date. I send from Bapa. Siyabulela kakhulu baphulaphuli. Thank you so much. It's 25. Must sense be 25. Or rather 26 minutes. Pam go past it in B. Yes, Bozo. 7:34 Central African Time. Kikhithi radio. Watching radio according to Ngaletsasa yanamhlanje. Igama lam Lhoza WamaMfene. Bye. When I'm dubukeleyo, but continue no yami. She's in the building. Sizo dibana ke nenkqubo